Well, hello everybody. So, it's been a week since I was in surgery, and I haven't really updated you too much since the morning after that short little "Hey, how you doing?" So, it's been a few days. I've been wanting to do this as a follow-up for a little while now, but truth be known, you can probably tell from my voice it's a little raspy, and I believe it can be attributed to the tube that they stick down your throat when you're out and sedated. So, I'm thinking that it's getting better. Definitely not as raspy as yesterday. So I just figured it might be time to update you all and let you know how things are going and carry on in this journey of mine that I'm hoping is beneficial to you and getting the message out that early detection is going to save lives. So I'm still fully convinced of that. So let's get right into it. So I got a visit from my doctor the next morning after surgery, and told me that in his opinion all went well, which means to me that all went well. Can't really say more about that. Um, they don't really know, if they got everything or if there was any other contamination or cancers until they do a complete look at it. Um, they took the whole prostate out, so they'll be sending it in for analysis, and they'll be looking at all that stuff here over the next couple of weeks. I go for my next blood test in PSA at week 8, so 7 weeks from now, I guess. And that'll start giving us a clue as to whether they got it all or if there's anything more to do. I guess the next step, if there's anything more to do, would be radiation, chemo, that sort of stuff. So let's hope that it got it for me. Generally speaking, it's pretty good when you catch it early. Hence, all of my videos and my talking to you about getting this looked at, identifying the problem, and getting it taken care of, because the earlier you get it, the better chance of survivability you have. So as you can see, I'm sitting at my house and just saw my dog walk past. It's been a quiet house for the last week. Today was the first day really that I've had some guests, and I think I'm a pretty simple person, and maybe even a little bit naive in that I keep my friends close and try not to have any enemies. But it's been overwhelming. It's been incredible, an eye opener for me to see how many people are wanting to help, step up, bring food over, send messages of sympathy and care packages, and it's crazy. Like I'm overwhelmed. I'm blown away. I just don't get it. Never thought that was going to be me. I like to be the person that helps people out. That's sort of my job and sort of who I am. As a dad, and in my other real job, and other real job. My real job is as a dad. My other job that brings home the money, I care for people, right? So that's sort of how I've always viewed myself. I'm the guy to rely on for that sort of thing. Wow, it's been incredible. My phone hasn't stopped beeping and bopping and vibrating with messages. My wife's phone hasn't stopped. It's just been utterly awesome. So, when I hear of somebody now in the future who is undergoing something, I'm going to be the first to jump up. Not that I haven't been in the past, but now for sure. I mean, it just means so much to me to know that there's so many of you out there that I just want to be part of that network for other people. Um, Probably would like to know a little bit about how I'm feeling, about how I'm doing. And I don't like talking about myself, but again, this is for the benefit of others. Mostly because I know there's going to be apprehension and fear from some of you. It's a pretty personal type of a cancer, considering the area of the body that we're dealing with, and the ramifications and what can happen during surgery if it goes bad, or even if it's just an unlucky stroke of the pen, whatever it is. So let's just talk about that. So I chose to just put myself in a place to say, okay, I don't want people telling me how to do my job. I'm very confident going to whatever scene it is that I have to do, that I know the steps required to get the mission accomplished. So I put myself in that mindset and thought the exact same thing about my medical crew. Showed up to the hospital on Thursday morning and just sort of let my mind not think about it, just one step at a time. Was I apprehensive going in? Yeah, I've talked about that on this. I've talked about not knowing, not having surgeries before, not knowing what it's going to be like being under, and not knowing what it's going to be like waking up, and all of those questions that we're naturally going to have, especially if you haven't been through this sort of thing before. So it was an interesting time, and it was an interesting place to put myself, but I just trusted the crew and I trusted the medical system, and I just trusted that the guy that was behind the mask and with the knife in his hand knew exactly what he was doing. So I went in, and when they called my name, I followed the nurse in, and they did all the pre-prep rituals, weight measurement, height, that sort of stuff. Laid me on a bed, told me to put on a gown, and she went to work and she did her pre-op stuff, which involves getting rid of hair and that sort of stuff. Again, I'm going to be honest here, so if you've got ears that don't want to hear some of this stuff, maybe you better get rid of them now. But I am going to be honest so that if it's your turn, unfortunately, that you know what to prepare for. So yeah, she comes in and small talk and whatever. I imagine it's just as awkward for her as it is for anybody else, and removes the hair that needs to be removed. And again, we're dealing with an area between your belly button and the top of your ding dong there that is going to be sliced open. So they want it to be as sanitary as possible. And they give you a solution, they clean you up, and they're talking to you the whole time. They do a little blood test, but that's been done the week before, but they like to kind of get some bases. They check to make sure that, your BP is good and that you've got a good pulse rate, and just checking all your vitals. They check your O2 sats. They've got you all hooked up to the monitors and things, and they tell you not to worry and that, you're going to get visited. So then the next person that comes in is the anesthesiologist. And that person comes and talks to you a little bit what to expect. You're just going to go into a room, you're going to fall asleep, then you're going to wake up later. And, not to worry, my entire life is in their hands, because if anything goes wrong, they will recognize the signs hooked up to monitors and they will fix it before I even know. I guess if they don't, then I guess I wouldn't know regardless. But trust them. They're medical professionals, and I just chose, again, to do that in my brain. Trusted them. And then the last person that would show up is my actual surgeon, of course, having met him before, the urologist, who has been the person that broke the bad news to me to begin with, and who I've had other interactions with. I've looked him up on Rate My Doctor, and all the confidence building that I could possibly get from this individual. He comes in and he's got a confident look about him, and he just sort of says, okay, he says, I'm ready to go. You ready to go? And I said, yes, absolutely. Any questions for me? He says. I say, no questions for you. Like, here I am. Let's just get this done. He goes, I agree. Let's just get this done. So, a couple of minutes later, when the time's right, they start wheeling me out, and they wheel me through and into the theater. And I see the surgeon who I just spoke with sitting at a computer at the far end, and a couple of the OR nurses are there, and they're talking to me about pensions and the numbers and just, general, very easygoing atmosphere inside the theater. They strap my arms down. I feel like I'm sort of a Leonardo da Vinci, in a Leonardo da Vinci type of a pose there, with my legs a little bit spread and my arms spread out. And they've got me strapped a little bit with some strappings, I guess, just so that I don't move very much during the surgery. And I can see that the anesthesiologist is working on my the area where I've got my my IV put in, and the other nurse is saying, hey, let's just take a couple of deep breaths of this oxygen I've got for you. And I do know it's coming, and I go, oh, that's good. Yeah, let's just do this. And it's the last thing I remember. The next thing is I wake up and slightly disoriented, but not feeling too bad. Groggy, of course, and everybody's sort of around me, and oh, you okay? You okay? Yeah, he's here. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. At that point in time, I expected I would be sick, because I've read a lot that most people, at least 70%, get nauseous and or sick post surgery. For whatever reason, I wasn't, and I didn't, and I don't know why. I don't know what brings it on, what doesn't, but I guess I was lucky. I mean, I've got I know now, and you guys all know, I've got stitches down my belly, and the last thing I really want to do is be sick. So, yeah, I was sort of there, and I'm in and out a little bit, having a little bit of a nap, and then waking up and having a bit of a nap. Nurses are coming in every once in a while, talking to me, and then my surgeon shows up. He goes, "Hey, Brent, just so you know, I've talked to your wife on the phone. I'm very happy with how the surgery went. I will see you tomorrow." And he's gone. Now, he might have been there an awful lot longer than that, but that's what I remember. The next thing I remember is I'm being wheeled into my hospital room. So there I am, and they raised the bed up to the level of the bed that I'm supposed to be in. They said, "Okay, just climb in there." And so, of course, you just sort of go, "I'll get," and you really can't move. It's amazing when they cut your abdominal muscles apart that you can't use your abdominal muscles to move. So they helped me shuffle over into my what would be my bed for 3 days, and make sure everything's working, check my vitals again, everything like that. They just tell me to have a little nap. I'm sure I fell asleep a couple more times there. Family came to visit. That was awesome, seeing all my kids and my wife and my dad. And, everybody comes and shows up, and then they're gone. And then the first night at the hospital, I've got, oh my goodness. So we had asked for a private room. And of course, they didn't have one available. And so I had Mr. Whiny Crybaby beside me. And I had a couple of other crybabies across from me. And so there's 3 or 4 of us in a room. And when you make a certain move with the IV going into you or the BP cuff on you, sometimes the machines go into an alert mode to say, yeah, things aren't working. So early on, I had said to my nurse, "Okay, how do I make this thing shut up?" She goes, "Oh, you just hit the reset button." Great, perfect. So anytime that I maybe bent my wrist the wrong way and the fluid stopped moving for half a second, it would beep. I'd hit the reset button and no more beeping from me. Well, apparently nobody else is smart enough to figure that out, or at least they don't get bugged as easily as I do or perturbed. And so all I saw was, all I heard was beeping and bopping all flipping night long. Mr. Whiny Pants beside me moaning and groaning, and the older lady across from me just couldn't get to sleep and wanted everybody to know that, and didn't want anybody else to sleep either. So needless to say, by the morning I was quite fed up. Didn't sleep much that night. I felt like every time I just barely nod off, one of those people would wake me up. The other thing I noticed is that if I didn't bend my wrist a certain way, the machine never went into alarm. So guess what I did? I kept my wrist steady in one certain direction that kept the alarm from going off. Simple stuff, but I don't know. Anyways. My wife came bright and early the next morning, as reliable as a Timex. And she showed up and brought me a coffee. Well, actually, no, she brought me a banana loaf and wasn't sure she could bring me a coffee. And then when hospital staff brought me my beautiful breakfast, it had a coffee. So Aaron ran down and grabbed a real coffee and brought it back up to me. So all this time I'm still dealing with these people, and now they're playing their iPads without earphones, and it's so flippin' annoying. And how are you supposed to get any better when you got that going on? So I was able to convince my nurse that it was going to be my last day there. My first day there was going to be my last day there. And she goes, "Oh, I don't know." She says, "Usually this is 2 or 3 days minimum." Doctor came in for a little checkup. He wanted to see how I was doing. And I said, "Hey, I'm doing so good, I should go home right now." He goes, "You want to go home?" I said, "Listen, Doc, I don't have anything at home that's going to bother me. And considering all the noise around this place," I said, "I'd really prefer it." And he goes, "You know what? I'll sign the order." So fortunately, I was discharged. The nurses came in and they taught me how to use the portable catheter and all that stuff. So that was awesome. And I came home. So I've been home ever since. My family was here for the first evening there to sort of welcome me back to the land of the living. And they had done some stuff in the house to prep for me coming, and it was really awesome. I'm getting close to 15 minutes, and I don't want to bother you guys or drag this on. I just want you to know that really, honestly, the surgery put myself in the right frame of mind. A positive frame of mind was the best thing I could do. Came out of it with no problems whatsoever. Aside from the fact that, they took parts out of my body and bisected other parts of my body, and I've got a tube shoved down my ding dong that has to be there for a few weeks. And, it's uncomfortable and it's painful and it's keeping me from sleeping. I am not complaining. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to get this remedied before it was too late. And I just want to pass that on to you. Get it remedied before it's too late. So what's my message been? It's been early diagnosis is going to lead to fixing the problem there before it's too late, or before the fix is, a lot more devastating than what I'm going through now. Is it enjoyable what I'm going through now? No, absolutely not. I'm expected to be off work for a long, long time, with the first 6 to 8 weeks. I'm done 1 week already. First 6 to 8 weeks being just sitting where I'm sitting right here, doing as much of nothing as possible. Not looking forward to that, but it is what it is, and this is where you'll find me. So those of you that know me and are close to me, where I live, and want to shoot me a message to come visit, yeah, come on by. It's been great. Again, the outpouring of support has been amazing. Those of you that are watching from afar and are learning about this adventure, just realize that it's way better than I thought it was going to be. And I really think that you need to get this under your belt, guys, girls. Early screening, early prevention. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, try to spread the word, and share it with all of your friends, relatives, people you work with, whoever you think need to hear the message. There are some very stubborn people out there. I'm probably one of them, but by luck, fluke, really, really good doctor. I can only attribute my family doctor with the majority of this. Thank you so much. I'm one of the lucky ones that caught this early. So be one of the lucky ones because of the message that I'm giving you. Get out there and get checked, get screened, and get it fixed. Okay? So from now, I think I'll let you go. I'm really looking forward to a week from now when I get this catheter out, and hopefully things will get back to some sort of normalcy. Who knows? I'm going to take each day as it comes. I got my mind in the very same place it was when I went in for surgery, like each step as it comes. And let's not worry about tomorrow until today is over. And so I'm just going to be sitting here enjoying the fact that I know I'm, as far as I know right now, I'm cancer free, and that's a really good feeling. Thanks so much for your support, and thank you for watching. And I'll catch up with you sooner rather than later. And bye for now.